lovely the way I was introduced there. It's really nice to be introduced. It's a really nice thing to get used to in a new job when somebody says your name and people clap and cheer. It's lovely. It was a little bit weird at the doctor's the other day. Because nobody clapped. Every time I said clap, I think they thought that's what I had. But I decided in January, I think a lot of people do this in January, I decided in January to try to sort of better myself. I'm not really bothered about losing weight, but I quite like the idea of getting fit, so I thought I'd get myself an exercise DVD. Now, you know when your partner goes shopping and they say, do you want anything? And you're supposed to say no, but instead you give them a list. Sometimes I just make shit up I don't even need just to see his face. And he looks at the list and he goes, what's the difference between a tangerine and a satsuma? Ha ha, it's a test. And I said to him, could you get us an exercise DVD? That's what I thought I'd do. I'd get an exercise DVD. I said, just like a bog standard, like a beginner's guide, a very basic exercise DVD. And he said, no problem. He came home with Davina's Buff Your Abs. I thought I'm going to have to lose 3 stone before I can find me bloody abs. So I took it back and I swapped it for the one that I wanted, which was, you know, just fat lass has a go, you know. Or the sequel, Fat Lass Tries Again. And I watched the first few minutes, and you know how it's always a celebrity in a trainer, isn't it? Because a celebrity sells the DVDs and the trainer knows what they're doing. And in the first few minutes, they were both laughing at nothing. It was very unnerving. And the trainer said to the celebrity, why don't you tell the viewers at home what weight you were when you started this regime? The celebrity went, when I started this regime, I was 10 stone. I realised then that I'm aiming for a start weight. But I like to eat. Is that so bad? I like to eat. Sometimes I think I've got a tapeworm, but that it's just full. But I'm trying to eat more healthily. I had an apple the other day. Thank you. I put it in my handbag on an optimistic Monday. And by the Thursday, there weren't any Kit Kats left. And I was starving. I thought, I'm going to have to find it. So I looked around in my handbag. And I found it. It was prematurely bruised and battered. It had pen on it. But I was starving, so I peeled off the clean panty liner and I ate it. It was all right. It really reminded me of something I'd had years ago that I liked, and I was like, what does it remind me of? I can't remember. Toffee apples.
People ask me, they say, Chris, what is it like trying to raise a child when you can't see the child? It's ups and downs, you know, ups and downs. You just got to go with the flow. Can't prepare yourself, you know. She's 3.5 now. When she was 2.5, if you haven't got kids, by the way, as soon as they get to 2, they're adorable. They just start asking questions. They want to know what everything is. You are their source of information. They want to absorb the world. My daughter, she's 2.5. She's in the bath. I'm knelt there. I'm bathing her. She's like, what's this, Daddy? What's this, Daddy? I don't bloody know, do I? Give it here. Just... You might be 2.5, but you know way more than Daddy at this point, sweetheart. She goes, what's this, Daddy? Ice cream? I was like, ice cream? Big handful of shit, wasn't it? Massive. Not like a little pebble, not like a little arse sweetness. Where did that cut? An impressive quantity for an adult male. I wasn't entirely sure the dog hadn't jumped in and done it when my back was turned and she just scooped it out. She just slapped it in there in one go. It threw me. I didn't... Look, right, I obviously didn't see it coming. I didn't even... No. I didn't even smell it coming. This came from underwater. This was a stealth move, right? And I'm not entirely sure exactly what happened, you know. I've narrowed it down to 2 options, I think. I've given it some thought. I mean, she was 2.5. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt. She deserves the benefit of the doubt, doesn't she? Option 1, benefit of the doubt. This is what happened. She sat in the bath with the warm water. Yeah? She farts. She shits herself. She doesn't know she's done that. A few minutes later, that goes floating past her in the bath, doesn't it? She sees it there. She thinks to herself, I wonder what the bloody hell that is. That looks a little bit like ice cream. I know, she thinks. I'll ask Daddy about that. He knows about these things. He's a very, very clever man, yeah? That's option 1, isn't it? Benefit of the doubt. Option 2. She's a bloody comedy genius. She's sat there in the bath. She's got Mr. Penguin up here on the wall. She's got, hey, Mr. Penguin, Mr. Penguin. Get on this now. This is going to be brilliant. This is going to be amazing. Watch his face now. Watch his face. Watch. Keep looking, keep looking. What am I going to do? Not only am I going to do a shit and put it in his hand, I bet you I can make him sniff it. Ice cream, Daddy? Ice cream, huh? We were very lucky with my daughter. They say you got to watch your language around your kids, don't they? That's what they say. We were very lucky. My daughter's first words, apart from hand on heart, apart from mama, dada, baba, all that nonsense, her first words were go away. That's what she said. That's all she said for 3 months. Go away. Go away. She thought it was just one word. Go away. Go away. Why? Because that's what me and my wife said to the dog every time we were trying to feed my daughter. Get the food out, wouldn't we? The dog would get up, he'd go on the prowl, having a little look, wouldn't we? We'd be like, go away, go away, go away. She just picked it up. We'd push her in the pram out on the street. She'd be like, go away, go away, go away. Said to my wife, it's a good job we weren't telling that dog to fuck off, innit? Because we just wouldn't be able to take this kid out of the house.
I said, what do you want? He goes, I want a cat. And I said, a cat? Nah, I'm not going to buy you a cat. No one gets a pet for Christmas. And you know what happened? I'll tell you what happened. There was a mouse, a little mouse. It came into the house, and the girlfriend, she saw it. She goes, ah, what's he doing in here? What's he doing in here? We've got a mortgage. Like, that's got to do with anything. Like, all the mice is outside there. It's like, hold on, guys, before we go in there, we need to see if this is rental accommodation first. Yo, fam, put that cheese down. We haven't seen the tenancy agreements yet. It might be a hoax, right? It don't work that way. So she was like, Marlon, we need a cat. I said, I don't want one. She said, Marlon, we need a cat. So we compromised and we got one. So we went to this place. Where they hold all of the cats in the world. And I walked in there, I was like, I want a cat. And the lady said, that's not how it works, sir. I said, please. She said, no, what it is, we need to interview you to see if you're fit to have a cat. And I started panicking. At this point, I said, listen, right, lady, right, listen, right, between me and you, I've got a son. I said, human being, 8 years old, and he's not dead. And she looked at me, she was like, yeah, you can have a cat. So, she brought us up the stairs, man. When she brought us up the stairs, I've never seen so much cats before in my life. There was more cats than people in this room right now, right? And they were there, different shapes, different sizes. And my girlfriend, she got drawn to one cat, which was like blue and grey. I've never seen a cat like this before, a blue and grey cat, and his whiskers were out, and the tail was up, and she walked over to the cubicle where the little cat was, and she put her hand right up against it, and the cat came along, and he put his paw there. And it was like they were touching. And she was like, I want that cat. And the lady said, no. She said, why? She said, well, that cat, it can't live with children. And my girlfriend looked at me like to say, fuck the kid. I want that cat. The lady said, no, you can't have that cat, but we've got some cats that is suitable for you, but they're in this corner over here, and she walked us into this corner, ladies and gentlemen, and all of the cats in this area here were black cats. Yes, and my paranoia, that went off straight away. I was like, hold on a minute, we can't have that cat over there, but we can have any of these ones. I've got to fight racism in the real world, but also in the feline world as well. This is bloody ridiculous. And she said, this one's called Denzel.
But we've moved now. We've moved to a place called Pinner. We only moved to Pinner because the estate agent said to us, he said, oh, Pinner is a lovely part of West London. Right? West London. We get Welsh telly. It's not London, but it is very nice. One of the things I like about where we live is it's very multicultural. I think that's one of the brilliant things about London. I think multiculturalism is something we really have to fight for. Like the school my kids go to, it was very easy to pick a school for my kids because obviously we just picked the one with the highest ceilings. But the school they go to, it's a really nice school and it's very diverse. Like we have a mum's night out once a month and all the mums from the school go and there are women there from every economic background, every race, every religion. And we have a fantastic time, and the Muslim mums drive us home. Tell you what, it is nice. I had an incident the other day, though. I was walking down the street near where I live, and it was one of those sunny days, one of those days that remind some van drivers that women have breasts. You know, one of those. And I was walking down the street, and there was a van drove up and slowed down, and two guys leaned out of the van, and they were in classic kind of leching position. And I knew they weren't going to be looking at me because I am 44 years old. And in fact, my older friends, when I was turning 40, they said, oh, being over 40, it makes you invisible, right? And I have found, yes, that is true, but the brilliant thing is it mostly makes you invisible to dickheads. So it's not really a problem, it's a superpower, if anything. So I'm walking down the street, these two guys are leaning out of this van, and I see they're leching, but they're looking past me at a younger woman, a woman in her 20s, who is walking alongside me. And these guys do the classic thing. They lean out of the van and they gave this woman a very detailed appraisal of her anatomy. You know, they covered all the main areas in bullet-pointed form, very thorough. And then they went on to suggest what I can only describe as a smorgasbord of activities they felt they would enjoy indulging in with her were they not under pressure of time to get to the next plumbing job. So they did all this and they drove off. And naturally, I turned to this woman and I said, oh my gosh, are you okay? That was horrific. And she said, no, I'm fine. It happens all the time. And I thought, yeah, it does when you're in your 20s, doesn't it? And we were chatting about how silly it was as we walked down the street. And then we got further down the road and the traffic had slowed down and this van had come to a stop. And I think a few years ago I would have just left it, said nothing. But this year I thought, you know what, if I'm going to be invisible, you know who else is invisible? Ninjas. I'm going to be a bloody middle-aged ninja. I'm going to strike, right? So I went up to the van and I just leaned in and I said, oh, hi, guys. Listen, sorry to bother you. I just wanted to say thank you so much for what you did back there because my son here has been undergoing a very difficult gender reassignment. He's been worried that it's not going that well, but what you did back there really made him feel like a proper woman. Thank you. I was delighted with myself as well. But what was really special was that then the young woman next to me leaned in beside me and in the deepest voice I've ever heard, just went, yeah, thanks, guys. It was a beautiful moment. Obviously, it wasn't perfect. The only thing that could have made it perfect would have been if the guys in the van had said, actually, if your child is undergoing a gender reassignment, it's incredibly insensitive of you still to be referring to her using the male pronoun. They didn't do that. They just called us slags.
I've got 6 kids, can you believe that? No, 3 of them born in the same month. mean it from the bottom of my heart. And I will explain myself so I don't seem like a man whore to you guys. The three of them are all of the same lady. They are different ages, but they're all born in the same month. That baffled me for years. How do you get 3 kids, same lady, different ages, same month? People, I had to take a calendar and work this one out. I did. I had to count 9 months back from their birthday. Turns out it's my frickin' birthday. These are my little birthday presents, don't you know? You lot can clap and laugh and everything. When is my birthday now? I don't want no punani. She can keep that shit. That's expensive fanny right there, innit? There's a lot of stuff I liked about parenting, and there's a lot of things I didn't like doing. I didn't like doing shit like, for instance, the school Christmas play. Have you not ever been to a primary school Christmas play? What a load of shit. It is. Come on now, there's no kids in here. What a load of shit. If you've never been, I'll explain. First, they usher you into the assembly hall. And they sit us down, big grown folks, on them little miniature chairs. You ever seen them? Look at the size of me, I can't fit in one. They either do that or they sit you down on that long apparatus bench. Remember the long? That's what they sit big people down on for hours. So by the time you try to get up, you've got rigor mortis in your back. Not comfortable. 2, I've noticed of recent, these kids don't seem to rehearse their part they got in the Christmas play. Do you remember when we were younger? Everybody wanted a part in the Christmas play. Whether it was the top part or you could be a tree, it didn't matter. You was gonna play the best tree ever. You'd be in the front room like a dickhead for hours swaying. Asking Mum, how does that look? How does it look, Mum? How does it look? But we practice. And then they start singing. Fucking horrendous. It is. I don't care what you got to say. It's horrendous. They're out of tune and everything. You think, what kind of production is this? Worst part about it, your child always try to look out for you, don't they? To try to give you a little wave. My children always do that. Look out for me to wave at me like I freaking know them. Do you know what I mean? You're your mother's child today, boy. That's a like that, innit? This embarrassment. Mums, you lot love it. You lot video it all the time. That's a like, don't send me that bollocks. Send it to your mum and your sisters. They are. Didn't enjoy that. Didn't enjoy them cooking at school and bringing that poison home for me to eat. Do you know what I mean? I know, it's poison. Don't eat from these kids. They're looking early inheritance. Don't eat from them. Don't eat from them.
Don't you think it's crazy that, do you understand the technology for us to hear the pilot? I am actually utilizing it right now. This is the technology for us to hear the pilot. I don't know why we cannot hear. There's no other context where it's acceptable for us not to hear a person. Why are you muffling? If you were looking for an au pair for your kids and a person came over to your house and said, hey man, what's your experience with kids? And then they looked at you and went, ta-da. Be like, you need to get out of my house, son. Weird things happen in airplanes. Weird things, like crazy things, bizarre things. Like, how bizarre would it be right now if someone walked in here and started selling us watches and perfume? Would that be the most bizarre thing? But it happens all the time in airplanes. No one's ever gone, huh, this is crazy. This is that English polite thing. Oh, I've already got one, yeah. I'm not looking at the moment, yeah. Not every airline should be selling watches, though. Like Ryanair, no business selling watches. You need the watch, Ryanair. Your flight's 7 hours late. And also, why am I buying a 400-pound watch on an 11-pound flight? This makes no sense. Yeah, being in London is cool. I like being in London. One of my favorite things with being in London, there's so much to do. I try to buy a ticket online to watch Wimbledon. Yeah, man. The Wimbledon final, I was like, I'm excited. Went online, it was £3,000. I was like, what? £3,000. Okay, I'm not saying I wouldn't pay £3,000, right? I'm not saying I won't pay £3,000 for a Champions League finals ticket. But I'm not paying £3,000 for a sport where someone is going to tell me, quiet, please. Are you out of your mind? For £3,000, there will be no quiet, please. For £3,000, I'm rubbing my nipples center court. Are you out of your mind? My brother, 3,000. Oh, it's a lot of money. 3,000. My brother, £3,000. For £3,000, I should be able to whisper some advice in Roger Federer's ear. 3,000. I should be able to walk into the court. Sorry, Roger. Come on, forearm. Let's work on that. Come on. My brother, around 3,000. For 3,000, I should be able to punch a ball boy in the face. For 3,000. Could be walking across, picking up a ball up. Uppercut him in the nose. He'll be so confused. What was that for? I'm like, no, it's part of the package. If you look carefully, I can kick you in the balls.
Whenever I talk about my Prosecco punch, there's always a very specific laugh in the audience. I've learned to recognise it. It's just over there tonight. It's this. And I know what it is now. That is the laugh of a thin yoga woman. And I know what the laugh means. The laugh is like, that's funny, but I'd kill myself if I looked like you. But I promise you, there's advantages to having a Prosecco punch. Make some noise if you got one. 2 female will laugh for the bodies in the room. Don't be shy, lads. I can see you. It's quite well lit. Let's try that again. We're all being honest about ourselves. Give us a cheer if you got a Prosecco punch. Boys. The thing is, if you have a Prosecco punch, there are advantages to it, right? 2 main ones I can think of. Number 1, I don't want to be crude, but I can take some hammer. Yeah, it's true. I can give you a list of names that can attest to that as well. Not surnames. Now, the other thing is my Prosecco punch always gives me the greatest slice of joy, right? You know those 3 incredibly hot days we get that we pass off as the summer, right? I absolutely love those because that's when I get all my tanning done. I'm taking it very seriously. I go and get a chair from the kitchen. I go and put it slap bang in the middle of my garden, right? Because all the sun hits there. I've not got outdoor furniture. I'm not a Tory. So I pop it there. And then I get as naked as is legally possible. So I've got full spaniel's ears out. Smallest knickers I can find. You might be worrying about me now, because this is obviously filmed in London. I live in the countryside. I've not really got neighbours. I've got one lad who can see into my garden. He's depressed. He's not looking out his window for 3 weeks. We're fine, right? I also get very precious when I'm doing my tanning, right? Very precious. So what I'll do is I roll my knickers down as small as I can get them, because I'm like, I don't want tan lines, actually. I don't want tan lines. I've got a bush like a badger, but I don't want tan lines. It's got TV. I don't want tan lines. I'm not allowed near cows. So I lie there, drinking it in, and as I lie there, think to myself, you know what? I am going to get up, and I am going to go to the freezer, and I am going to treat myself to a third magnum of the day. Because I'm a special princess and I do deserve it. Thank you. But all the people who are allowed ice cream up there in that one section. Lactose intolerant in the stalls. Closer to the toilets, it makes sense. So I'll decide I'm going to treat myself to that magnum. And then I'll wait another 40 minutes till I can actually be asked to get up and get it. And then when I get up and get it, this is where my Prosecco porch really steps up. Because as I stand up, I will hear the sound of my own gunt peeling off the top of my own leg. Yeah, don't go, Don't pretend you're not turned on. It's embarrassing. It's an incredible noise. It's like this. That's my mating call. It is. I just see a row of bald heads along the fence like that. Just divorced dads who are like, is that low self-esteem I can hear? Do you want to come to Pizza Hut and be a mum for 2 hours?
But I have developed a new hobby. Some of you probably already do this. I've started listening into people's conversations on the bus and the train. It's quite entertaining. And I was listening not long ago to 2 old ladies, and they were talking about what they would do if they were men for a day. And I thought, this is going to be brilliant, because pensioners are, by definition, bonkers. But I went out to lunch with a couple of my friends, and I thought, well, I'll ask them the same question. So my first friend, I said, what would you do if you were a man for a day? Without even thinking, she just went, I'd have a wank. Sounded like she needed to. She sounded awfully tense. But these old ladies, different generation to me and my friends, in their 80s, and one of them just said, Edith, what would you do if you're a man for a day? The other one said, knowing my luck, I'd get a Tuesday. And what can you do on a Tuesday? My second friend, I said, what would you do if you're a man for a day? She just said, I just do everything. And I thought she meant like in a sexual way. And I said, is that what you mean? Like you just do everything? And I said, is that what you mean? She went, no, just all the little jobs round the house. But I've been trying to go on a diet. I'm not really very successful. But I find that whenever I go shopping and I can't get into things, you know, when you try clothes on and you're the size you weren't expecting to be, I just come home and I put on a song, and the song is Big Girls Don't Cry. You know the song? There's a couple of versions of it. Big girls don't cry. Such a load of rubbish, that, isn't it? Big girls don't cry. Yeah, they do. Cry because they're fat, cry because they can't get a boyfriend, and they cry because there's no trifle left. But I was on holiday in Spain last year, and I'm bragging, I know, and outside the hotel was a lovely pool, and I wanted to go in the pool, of course I did, but I'm not overly confident with my figure in a swimming costume, and I was watching the women who were walking in the pool, and these were like tiny, you know, these wafer-thin, tiny women. And I thought, I'm not going to walk in with one of them. If I walk in with one of them, people are going to think I've bloody eaten one. And I wouldn't anyway, because there's no meat on them. So what I decided to do instead is just to walk in with the children, because kids are all really fat these days. If I walk in the same time as a 9-year-old boy who's got bigger tits than me, nobody's looking at me anymore. But like I say, I don't have kids, and most of my friends don't have kids, but I think if you ask any woman who doesn't have kids what would worry them about having kids would always be childbirth. It's quite a reasonable thing to worry about childbirth. From what I understand, it changes you downstairs, doesn't it? It changes you downstairs. I quite like my downstairs the way it is. Thanks very much. Certainly don't want a bloody extension. But it's bound to change though, isn't it? Because you're forcing a person out. That's what you're doing. You're forcing a person out. I've never forced a person out. I forced a couple in. With a shoehorn.
Are any Welsh people out there? Tell them! Tell them how good it is now! Oh, it's not shit anymore! We spent millions, so it's not shit for you. That's the whole... Welsh people, where are you from? Swansea! Fair enough, it's shit. Yeah, quite right. Yeah. I'm trying to explain that the place has improved and you lob Swansea in just to... Lucky Swansea's still a desperate dump, isn't it? Let's face it. Devoid of any hope whatsoever, Swansea. Have you been? There's a sign on the way in that says, kill our children, not your speed, isn't there? Yes. I'm talking about places like Cardiff and the places that have... Yes! These places have improved. We've had development money. We've done Cardiff Bay. Have you been there? Go there on holiday. It's lovely. We've done it all up. You've got cafes and bars. You've got the sea down there now. It's amazing. Shoo, down where the shit was, that's all sea now, most of it. And it's going to be amazing when they finish it. Has anybody seen the posters of what Cardiff Bay is going to be like when it's all done? It's not. It's going to be amazing. There's going to be people chatting. Laughing, texting, Welsh people these are presumably, having interesting conversations over dinner. We're all going to be a lot better looking by the time it's finished as well. You look out. Where they're going to get these people with fashionable glasses and teeth from in Cardiff, I got no idea. You've got to admire their optimism, haven't you? Fair play. Talking of optimism, you've got Cardiff Bay. I was there not long ago. Some of these restaurants, some of them have got tables outside. Al fresco dining in Cardiff. They're having a laugh on me. I tried to have a Twix at a bus stop in Wales a few years ago. It was too wet to eat, to be honest with you. Everybody's pretending it's Madrid. Come on, we'll sit outside. Your soup bowl's filling up faster than you can eat it, for Christ's sake. Stop raining! You never get past your starters after 7 hours of soup and rainwater. You give up. Through your gin and tonic's overflowing, the little umbrella's blown inside out. Turn it back into the wind! Turn it back into the wind! It's waiters with frosted eyebrows fighting their way to the table. Spaghetti carbonara! Spaghetti carbonara! Sure, I'll get another one! I'll get another one! There's people throwing life buoys to their bread rolls. I'll pull you in! I'll pull you in! Peas being airlifted to safety. Oh, Wales is improving. Even the valleys. Go to the valleys on holiday. Even the valleys. They are. Shut your face. They're getting better. They're getting better, the Welsh. I did a gig in Pontypridd. Yeah, in the Welsh valleys. Were you there at the gig I did when there was a piece of sun-dried tomato on the stage? Not bullshit. In a real piece of sun-dried tomato. We couldn't even do the gig. Everybody was just staring at it. I couldn't get them back. Couldn't get their attention. That's not local to your area, is it? The sun-dried tomato. Hey, there was a pile-up in the valleys a few years ago because somebody mentioned satsumas. Did you read about that? Somebody's trod in that, haven't they? That's what's happened. Do you live here now, madam? Do you live here? Are you from the valleys?
My boyfriend is from the valleys.
Your boyfriend? It was probably him that trod in the sun-dried tomato and dragged it all the way back. That's what he probably stepped in the sun-dried tomato in London and took it all the way back to the... He must have been shitting himself on the way back. They'll kill you for that in Pontypridd, won't they? Get it off me! They're gonna kill me! They're gonna kill me! Ditch the shoe! Ditch the shoe!
We're here to talk about relationships. Let's crack straight on with the first slide. Making... Don't laugh at that. That's not meant to be funny, please. Let's not have another Folkestone on our hands, please. Making divorce work. Now, given that it is a rocky ride, an emotional roller coaster, I start off with a joke, ladies and gentlemen, just to loosen us up. Here it is. If you're going to get divorced, you have to be like the man in the toll booth. Why is that, Keith? Well, you have to be willing to accept, this is the joke, change. It's a zinger. When you divorce, there is sweeping change. Changes right across your life in every area. One of the first things to change is the locks. You may come... Please don't laugh at that, please. You may come home one day and find that your key no longer fits your wife's lock. Another man's key is fitting your wife's lock. And stop that! Stop it! Stop! I'm stamping on that. Riaz with a Z, please. Stop it. It's not that sort of a show. Well, I mean, it's not a show, is it? It's a talk. But it's not smutty. So you may come home and find that your key no longer fits the lock. Good. Yes, it can. And it can be very difficult to tell why a relationship is going to go wrong. Why is that? Well, I think it's because at the beginning of any relationship, when two people get together, there's always a sense of what? Hammersmith, at the beginning of a relationship, a sense of... Pardon? Worry. No. Anyone else? At the beginning of a relationship, a sense of... Foreboding. Foreboding is the wrong answer. Lust, no. Uncertainty. There's always a sense of uncertainty. A feeling of will they, won't they? And there's no way of... Please, Hammersmith, take it seriously. We're talking about emotions. A sense of will they, won't they? And there's no... Hammersmith, I will walk off the stage, please. There's no way of predicting when a couple get together whether or not the relationship will work. Will it last a long time? No. Not a chance in hell. Will they stick together? No. Will the marriage endure? Yes. Lee and Leslie. Now, Lee and Leslie are a lesson to us all. They've made a marriage work. So why is it then that when they can make a marriage work, so many others can't? Paul Simon said, there are 50 ways to leave your lover. 1. Hammersmith, time out. Please, start to take it seriously. 1. Slip out the back, Jack. 2. Make a new plan, Stan. And 48 others.
My parents are disappointed I didn't get married because, like I said, I'm Egyptian. I'm in my 40s, so I was supposed to be married 30 years ago. So they're like, tick-tock. When's this happening? But they don't understand dating. My parents didn't date. They were in arranged marriage. They met on The Bachelor season 3, I think. They don't get that joke or anything I do, but... I was supposed to be a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer, which is pretty typical for Arabs, actually. Like, I went to Palestine once to do comedy there because that's what that region needs, just dick jokes. So thought I'd help. And after the show, there was a Q&A, and somebody in the audience was like, why did you decide to become a comedian? And as a joke, I was like, oh, I wasn't smart enough to be a doctor. But they didn't get it. They were like, oh, I'm sorry. maybe if you study harder, you can do it. I was like, yeah, definitely. This is a lifelong dream. That's all right. My dad thinks I'm his responsibility until I'm my husband's responsibility. But at no point am I to be my own responsibility, right? Like the women in my culture need a chaperone through life. Like we just don't have the same rights as the men. Because my dad wanted to move from Cairo to America, so he just moved. You're a man, bye. Right? My mom wanted to move from Cairo to America, and they were like, well, let's find you a husband in America. And that's how they met. 3 of my aunts became nuns. That's a lot of nuns for one family. And I was like, Mom, why did all your sisters become nuns? She was like, because they didn't want to get married. And then she caught herself. She's like, because they love God. I was like, no, I knew it. They saw their options. Meet Samir. He doesn't know how to do his own laundry, and he has hummus in his beard right now. You can have sex with him every night, or meet God. The only thing you have to do on your knees is pray. And they were like, yep, God, that's perfect. Thank you. I love being in London because it's so close to the rest of Europe. I love to travel. I go to Paris. Tell my American friends I'm going to Paris. They get so excited for me. They're like, oh my God, Paris, we love that for you. We love Amelie. And I tell people here I'm going to Paris. You don't give a shit at all. All you ever say when I say I'm going there is, oh, cool, how are you getting there? Are you taking the train? Oh, the train's so great. You're going to love the train. Like, cool. Every time. How are you getting there? You taking the train? Oh, the train is so great. Like, so is Paris. Why can't I talk about Paris? What? I'm going to go to cafes and museums. I'm going to see Jim Morrison's grave. And you're like, that's cool. How are you getting home, though? Are you taking the train? Train's so great. Like, it's a good train. Relax. It's good to vomit on. And last time I was there, this Parisian man walks right up to me. He was like, you have fire. This is why I love the French. What a thing to say to a stranger. You have fire? Yeah, you're damn right I have fire, sir. Right? I'm a strong, independent woman. I'm a comedian. He didn't know any of this, but he must have just seen something in me, like my aura, and he had to come up and be like, you have fire. Turns out he was just looking for a lighter.
You do a thing in the UK called pre-drinks. Pre-drinks, all right? Some people call it prinks, because they don't even have time to pronounce the whole word before they get on it, all right? Pre-drinks. I had no idea what it was. I had to ask my friend. I was like, Di, what the hell are pre-drinks? He said, Ignacio, it's great. We drink at home before we go out to go drinking. I said, that is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. I said, why would you do this? He said, you know, just to warm up to get ready to go drinking. I said, that doesn't make any sense, all right? You don't do it for anything else, do you? You don't go, we're going to go to the cinema, pop a fucking DVD in before we go to the cinema. Makes sense. Just fire up the old Netflix and do shots of popcorn. Is it made before we go down to the cinema? Craziness. Everything revolves around booze, okay? People in this country start drinking around about 13, 14 years of age. Does that feel about right? 13, 14. Some of you, depending on where you're from, younger, some of you older, all right? I get that. But I came over, I visited as a teenager, and I found out the way it works, all right? I was trying to fit in, and they were like, right, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go down drinking in the park, all right? We're gonna go drinking in the park as teenagers, all right? I was like, right, they go, right, we're gonna steal booze from our parents, and we're gonna go down the park, all right? It's like, okay, no problem. So I showed up to the park, all right, feeling like Jason Bourne or something in my backpack, and I think, pull out the stuff, all right, what's in there? They were like, what the hell is Rioja? Like, it's Rioja. Does anyone have a corkscrew, actually? Because otherwise we're going to be here for a while. The thing is, like, kids do that, and if they can't steal the booze from their parents, what they do is they'll stand by an off license, all right? And they will wait for somebody to walk past who looks just dodgy enough, but not too dodgy, So they can offer them money and go, hey, can you go in the shop for me and pick me up some beer, some vodka, whatever, we can go down drink in the park, and that person will go get the cash, and then you go there, you get shit-faced as teenagers, it bonds you, okay? It brings you together. At least that was my experience, okay, back in the day. But times have changed, all right? I went to back where my mother's from, okay? My mother's from a little town in Wales called Pontardawe, all right? Don't know if anyone's heard of it, tiny little town, Pontardawe. Pontardawe is a Welsh word, all right? Pont means bridge, and a dawe means over a shithole, okay? It's not a delightful place to move to from Mallorca, is what I'm trying to say. Right? My mother hates that joke. She's like, Ignacio, please stop saying that. They've taken all of the trolleys out of the canal, all right? Can we... But I was visiting and I was walking to see my mother and I passed an off-license, okay? And there's this kid stood by the off-license as I'm passing, all right? And he clocks me and I've got my guitar on my shoulder, so he's thinking, this guy's got no prospects. So he comes over to me with his cash, all right? And he was like, hey, could you maybe go in the shop? I'm like, I know where this is going. He goes, can you pop in the shop? I'm like, right. He goes, if I give you this money? I'm like, yep. And he goes, and get me some? I was like, I know where we're going. He goes, vape. I was like, what? He goes, vape. I said, seriously, vape? He said, yeah. I said, what flavor? He said, cherry. I was like, of course, cherry vape. All right, rock and roll. I go in the shop. I'm laughing to myself. I can't believe these kids asked me for cherry vape. How times have changed, all right? I go up to the counter. The guy behind the counter must have thought I was insane, all right? I'm laughing the whole way through the shop. I grab the stuff, pay for it, put it in the bag. I walk out. I'm laughing on the way out. I give the kid the bag. I go, there you go, pal. 20 Marlboro Red and a bottle of vodka. Grow up, you little shit. What is this? Vape nonsense.
I failed 6 times in total, right? 6 times. Can anyone beat 6? There, 1 there. Good work. You didn't fail on reaction times, did you? Bang, you were in. No messing. Who passed first time? Where are you? There you are. Still a little bit smug about it, I see. Good work. I would do as well. It's horrible failing, especially when, you know, there's stuff in your driving test that you don't even need to do again. Like, I remember parallel parking. That shouldn't be in your test. I'm going, Jason, can you put your car between that red car and that blue car? I said, no, can't I? I said, don't even live there, mate. You know what I mean? When's that going to come in useful? Do you know what I mean? I said, there's an NCP up there. I park there all day for you. I'm brilliant at it. Multi-storey parking, I've got some sort of gift. You know what I mean? Although there's one thing that could ruin your day with multi-storey parking, right? And I'll tell you what it is. It's little cars hiding, right? What they're doing, hiding behind big cars that from a distance look like a space. You think, oh, I've got one here, nice one. Oh, brilliant. Oh, bloody cheeky Chenso. I remember he failed me. I remember I got to a junction. When don't you do this, right? I got to a junction, I looked right, I said, all right, your side? Straight fail. What's he sat there for if he's not going to help you out, you know what I mean? My wife, she passed first time. I was very proud of her, you know. Well done. I didn't shake her hand, I don't know why I did that. It's a very formal relationship we've got. Well done, good night, darling. She passed first time, but she admitted to me afterwards she'd had a bit of a flirt. She'd wore a low-cut top and a short skirt, a bit of midriff, like, you know, showing. Oh, is that the gear stick? Sorry. Like, you know, proper went for it. The worst thing was, when I did that, that was another fail. I always wanted to learn how to drive like my dad, mate. Dads are pretty good at driving, aren't they? They've got some sort of gift. Dads do stuff that nobody teaches you, right? You'll see a dad reversing. Nobody's taught him how to do this, right? But he's amazing at it. He puts his arm around the passenger seat like this, right? Nobody's taught him this. The examiner's not gone, we're going to do some reversing now. Have you got any kids? Yeah, I've got 2. Right. I'm going to show you how to properly do it. All right, so arm out like that. And my dad had used that because me and my brothers would be in the back. He'd need the back of his hand. Get your bloody heads down there, I can't see a thing. Wear a seatbelt. Wear a seatbelt. If you're not seeing that advert, you'll kill me as well. Right, it's proper mad. And then he'd reverse out of second gear, like out of a cul-de-sac and up an A-row without looking. It was amazing to see. And he shouldn't have even been driving, my dad, right? Because my dad's got narcolepsy, right? And I know. I laugh about it now because I'm still alive, right? But as a kid, it was terrifying. We go up to Blackpool on holiday, get in the middle lane of the motorway, you go, right, lads, if you hear this noise, wake me up. You shouldn't be using the rumble strips as an alarm clock, should you, at any point? Dad, hey, I'm only joking, just messing. We get up to Blackpool, you're like, I don't want to go on any rides, I'm all right, Dad, I'm fine. And it was a great disease for your dad to have as a kid, you know, growing up. We'd get away with all sorts when he was telling us off. Right, you three, I've had enough of this. You lot are grounded for a... Yeah, whatever, we do what we want, old man. He'd use it for his advantage, though. Sometimes if he'd be talking to someone and he was bored, like my mum would be going, anyway, so our Barbara says he's not going to get back with Derek because my dad would just go. And then we'd be playing on the floor, we'd look up and he'd look at us and go... He'd wake up half an hour after dinner with a plate full of carrots. What's this happened again? What's going on? But the worst trick we ever did, right, we only played it once and we shouldn't have done it, was... I remember one time he fell asleep on the chair in the living room. Me and my brothers, we went upstairs, changed our clothes, come down, pretend he'd missed the day.
Some people find very strange things entertaining. There are people out there, some people love scary movies. Ugh, I hate scary movies. They're too scary. They scare the shit out of me. Every time I see a scary movie, I'm scared for days. I hate them, but there are people who love them. There are people out there who actively seek them out, who actually enjoy the sensation of being scared by a movie. I've never understood that attitude at all. I've never been frightened in real life and gone, oh, Jesus. Yeah, I'll pay for that. Yeah, all right. That felt horrible. 13 pounds? Sure, yeah. Let's go now. Ridiculous. My friend's like this, right? My friend Jason loves scary movies. Jason can't get enough of scary movies. Absolutely loves scary movies, Jason. Jason is black, which I only mention because you imagined him white, and he isn't. That's it. His race is not relevant to the joke. I just don't see why he should have the wrong picture. But Jason loves scary movies, and he's always trying to get me to go see him with him, go to the cinema and see scary movies with him. I'm like, Jason, I don't want to pay money to feel worse. That's an illogical exchange. That's a bad transaction, Jace. I don't want to do that. I was thinking about it. It's such a first world privilege. Don't you think? To enjoy scary movies. What a first world Western privilege. I mean, how comfortable is your life that you have to go out and buy a ticket just to know what it's like to feel under threat? You know, no one in the Democratic Republic of Congo saw The Grudge, you know? They don't need that shit. They got real life stuff to deal with. I guess it's a masochism, right, to enjoy a scary movie. A masochism, to derive a pleasure from a pain. And I understand masochism, I have to say I do, because I love spicy food. Love spicy food. It hurts me, I'm a little Asian god, but I love it. And if you think about it, spicy foods are actually a lot like scary movies, you know? If it's good, you feel alive. If it's really good, you shit yourself. What else about me? I'm 26. I'm 20 goddamn 6. People often think I'm older, because although I am 26, I look terrible. I look gross and old, I guess. Mothers, lock up yourselves. Old wangs on the prowl. He gonna get you. I'm a bit fat, I suppose. I don't look great. I'm a bit fat. I don't struggle with my weight. People my shape and size often say they struggle with their weight. They're always very sad. Oh, I struggle with my weight. Oh. I don't struggle with my weight. Struggle implies that I fought back at some point. I didn't. I helped. I was very much an accomplice to my weight. I was no barrier of entry to my weight. My weight knocked at the door and said, "Can I come in?" And I said, "Can I keep playing video games and touching myself?" And my weight said, "Yeah." "Oh, come in!" Take off your shoes, though. Chinese house. I've been trying to work on my look, though. I've been trying to look better. I'm trying to work on my look. I think it's important for all of us to have a distinct look that we like and to accomplish it as best we can. And so I have settled on the look of Cambodian dictator. It's a pretty strong look. It's been getting me a lot of respect recently, mainly from Cambodian people. But then I got fun shoes at the end. Racist people think that I'm barefoot, but there you go.
I guess celebrities, like everybody, just want to be happy. And I always think I would love Adele to be happy. Adele, she's had 2 award-winning albums, 19 and 21. 21, a lot of you, I'm sure, have got it, best-selling album in the world this year. And you listen to it and you think, I'm not sure she is happy. Track number 1, Rolling in the Deep. She and a bloke, they could have had it all, but sadly they haven't. Moving on to track number 2, rumour has it, we find out why. That she's not had a great time with her bloke because her bloke has pissed off with somebody else and they now have it all. So then it's track number 3, Turning Tables. She and her bloke, they're at war, but she doesn't know what they're fighting for. Well, I'm guessing they're fighting because he's pissed off with another woman. So track number 4, don't you remember? No, he doesn't remember because he's not there because he's pissed off. So track number 5, she decides she's so unhappy she sets fire to the rain. Only thing is the rain burns and she starts crying. Track number 6, he won't go. Fairly self-explanatory. He went, now he's come back, now he won't go. Track number 7, Take It All. Now he has gone, but he's taken it all. Track number 8, I'll Be Waiting. Yes, so he went. He came back. He wouldn't go. He's taken it all. Now he's pissed off again, and she's waiting for him to come back. Track number 9, One and Only. She has decided that he is the one and only. Sadly, he's not decided that she is the one and only because he's not there, because he's pissed off. So track number 10, love song, you're thinking this sounds better. Then you listen to the lyrics. Oh, whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel fun again. Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel young again. You're thinking she's only 21. How young does this bloke make her feel? It seems she's finally found somebody, only she's found a sodding paedophile. So you come to the last track on the album, Someone Like You. This bloke has gone and married somebody else, so she wants to find somebody like him. This is the bloke who she fought a war with, made her cry, left her, came back, wouldn't go, took everything, then went, married somebody else, and made her dress like an 11-year-old. Surely she should write a track, Somebody Never Like You, Ever, Ever Again. After 12 songs, I've learnt my sodding lesson.
Do you love London? I love London. I feel like London is created by the people, right? Who are just crazy and sexy and ambitious. I got into an Uber the other day, not bragging, and I got into an Uber and the driver, he said, would you like to have the radio on? And I was like, oh, I don't mind, it's up to you. And then he said, well, actually, I make my own music. Do you mind if I put some of that on? No, I don't. And then he put on Drake's new album. I wonder how often it works. I wonder how often
off and there's a middle-aged white woman thinking, oh, well, he looks like Aladdin and he sounds like confidence personified. Pull over and jump in the back, Nikolai. I'm having a good life. I have recently started doing yoga, which is just change. Yes, woo for the yoga over there. Are you a team? I'm new to it. I love it. Yoga has changed my life. It's brilliant. Yoga is my new drug. My old drug was drugs. Which I'm not going to say anything positive about because it would be incredibly irresponsible. I'm not going to say anything positive about drug taking. What I will say is I didn't take MDMA until I was 32, and it was such a relief to know I could be happy. The equipment's broken. But yoga is nearly as good, and there's no downsides. It's given me a whole new language. My favourite new word is namaste. Yeah, it's a very old word, it's very sacred, and it means the yoga has finished now. And then you're allowed to leave. I think that the key to being happy as you get older is self-acceptance. Like, I have to accept things about myself now. Like, I'm 36, I thought I would have children by now, and I don't. In an ideal world, what I wanted to self-fertilise. I wanted to have children that were exactly my genetics so that I could show them to my parents and go, see, it was my childhood, they're fine. Science can't do that yet. And then I had a crazy day last month where I just thought, I'm just going to buy some sperm. I'm just going to buy some sperm off the internet. I've got a good job. I'm just going to buy some sperm. Guys, sperm is so much more expensive than I thought it was going to be. It is tens of thousands of pounds. We are all wasting a valuable resource. 17-year-old me would have been a millionaire if I'd learned how to catch it and chuck it in the freezer. So expensive. It's a shock. I do think self-acceptance is the key. Like, there's things about myself I don't like, but I just have to accept now that they're not going to change. This is who I am. Like, so for instance, I don't like art. I think art is rubbish. I think lots of people think art is rubbish, but we're too worried of looking stupid, so we go along with it. I think that the worst art form is theatre. Right, okay, I can sense how unpopular this opinion is. Hear me out. I think theatre is diabolical. Look, I do, look, and also, I'm aware, if you are a performer of some kind, if you're an actor, look, please don't be offended. I don't mean being in the play. Obviously, if you're the person in the play that gets to put a wig on and walk up and down and move your arms and project your voice, saying things like, I think you'll find you're contradicting yourself, Alan. Fun. Having to watch it. Dear Christ. I can't concentrate. I can't lose myself in the story. I know that it's not real because I'm surrounded by people eating crisps. And they don't let you look at your phone. So all you're thinking is, well, how long has it been?
It's lovely to be here. I've come all the way from Brighton. Just in case you're wondering what this haircut is about. Might be a new face for some of you people. Don't panic, the BBC invited me here because they needed a beige lesbian. So I'm just here to tick some boxes. Not your box, madam, just a metaphorical box. I'm half Spanish, that's what's happening there. I've got a Spanish mum, and she lives here in the UK. It's all very legal. She's lived longer in the UK than she's ever lived in Spain, but the brilliant thing about my mum is that she's never lost her accent. She's done very, very good. She's lost her words she cannot pronounce. Lost her words she cannot pronounce, huh? My favourite word that my mum's never been able to pronounce is my brother's name. Not even a difficult name, his name's Stephen. Notice this, Spanish people, any word that begins with the letter S, they struggle, right? So my mum doesn't call him Stephen, she calls him Steven. What's his name, Mum? Steven. Is it? Isn't it just Stephen? Even if I know his name is my son, it is Steven! You don't want to mess with my mum. She's not like British people here in this country. We can be quite passive-aggressive, can't we? She's just very aggressive woman. I don't know how, my mum's never really coped in this country, and I think it's because, like a lot of Mediterranean people, she's quite loud, yeah? She's got one volume, it's like this. Hello! How are you? Whereas in this country, particularly if we're middle class, we tend to be low talkers, don't we? We don't like to raise our voices, do we? Why? Because we've got money. And we just assume that if you are raising your voice, well, you're probably poor. Or worse, foreign. Great thing about having a Mediterranean mum is they feed you. Oh, my God. She's always feeding. That's her way of showing that she loves her children, is to feed us. You know, I can remember going around friends' houses, you know, like English mums. Go around an English mum's house and the conversation with mum's more like this. I think you've had enough. My mum will feed you till you puke. Anything could be going on in my life and my mum will relate it back to a meal that she's cooked. Do you know what I mean? Like, so good or bad, particularly if I'm depressed. If I phone up my mum and I've had a terrible day, yeah? I phone up my mum, conversation always goes like this. Oh, Jennifer, my God, I'm so sorry to hear that you're having a hard time right now. But you know what? Don't worry, okay? I made a soup. Come home. You sound hungry. I made chicken carne, made lantagine, made casserole, Jennifer. I made some tortillas, some paella, some curry, Jennifer. You love curry, maybe some meatballs, some pork ball, beef ball, aniseed ball, banana ball. You're a lesbian. You don't eat enough balls. Please, come home. Eat my balls.
There's other younger people in the room, right? You know what I mean. You have only ever known a time in your life when you're trying not to get pregnant or trying not to get somebody else pregnant. And I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but on both accounts, I fucking smashed it.
I think it comes down to skill set at the end of the day, doesn't it? People are just good at different things. Some people are good at the violin, some people are good at parallel parking. I was very good at taking the pill. Every day, every day, every day. Honestly, I used to think I was so good at taking the pill, I deserved a reward. Arguably, there was a reward. It was the reward of not having to watch Peppa Pig or cleaning up another human's shit. Tell you what I don't understand, right, is women who are on the pill and forget to take it. Don't get that. Because don't get me wrong, I forget things. I forget my keys, my wallet, the fact I'm married. Sure! But forgetting to take something that can prevent you from creating a human that could one day say, turn the machines off, is what she would have wanted. I'm going to remember that one, thank you. Obviously does happen though, women forget to take the pill, they get knocked up. Happened to a girl I used to work with actually, when I used to work in an office, right? And we were chatting about it one day. She was so blasé, we're in the kitchen. She's just standing there rubbing her belly like, well, the thing is, I've just got really bad memory. I was thinking, that's funny, because every day without fail, you remember to steal my milk. Maybe if you'd strapped your packet of microgynon to my semi-skimmed... Stephen in accounts wouldn't be telling everyone how you trapped him. But I think the reason I was always very good at remembering to take the pill, because I've been on it for so long. I was on it since I was about 16. And the reason I started taking it was because I was going out with my first boyfriend, Kevin Sutherland. A boom, chicka, wow, wow. He was quite the catch. He had a Peugeot 106 and a tattoo of Bart Simpson, which I thought showed a great joie de vivre. And things were going very well between Kevin and I. We had matching bracelets from Argos, so you can tell how serious we were. And we'd agreed that we were going to do it for the first time, right? So I was like, right, I put myself on the pill because my first time is going to be really special. My first time is going to be just like in the movies. So the big day arrived, and Kevin, bless him, he made such an effort for everything to be really perfect. Like, he paid his little brother to leave the room. To this day, the most romantic thing a man has ever done for me. And he made a mix CD of all of our favourite romantic songs. You know, like Boom, 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 Let Me Hear You Say Wayo.
And as we lay down on his single bed, with his Liverpool FC duvet cover on it, the scent of Lynx Africa heavy in the air. And as Kevin took my virginity so beautifully and gently and quickly from behind, I remember thinking, wow, just like in the movies. Obviously, it's quite difficult to make eye contact in that position, isn't it? Almost felt like I lost my virginity to Stephen Gerrard. I'll never walk alone. I never will.
And this is what I'm talking about, the assumption that if you're in a place like that, you obviously are the help. Okay, example 2, that's it, white people. One more example, and then we're moving on, right? I'm on tour in the UK. I'm going up to Leeds. All my team was already up in Leeds setting up the theatre. I'm travelling with my tour manager and best friend, Lila, also a black woman. So I go, you know what? That's Lila. I go, you know what, Lila? Let's not drive. It's a long drive. Let's get a train and go up in comfort. So we rush down to the train station. I buy us 2 first-class tickets. There's a train leaving, so we jump on the train takes off. And we're walking through the train towards the first-class carriage. We walk into the first-class carriage. This white woman is sitting at a table. She looks up, she sees us, and at the top of her voice, she shouts, this is first class! Now Lila goes, what the fuck did you say? And I hold Lila, no, Lila, no. I just grab her by her collar, no, Lila, no. No, Lila, no, Lila, no. Watch me humiliate this bitch just with my mouth. Come back. So at the top of my voice, I say, thank you, lady. But what was it about us that made you assume that we didn't belong in the first-class carriage? She starts to fumble. Everybody on the train just kind of leans out from behind their seats. And she gets flustered. She's like, and then all she could think of was like, I thought you were lost. And I was like, how'd you get lost on a moving train going in one direction, bitch? How? Now, this woman was not alone. She was with her husband. Her husband was sitting opposite her at the table, same table. But we did not see her husband's face for this entire confrontation because the entire time he was hidden behind the newspaper, just... His hands never came down. All we saw were his knuckles just gripping that paper. And they were in their 60s. So they'd obviously been married a long time, and he's behind that newspaper going, ah! Nosy, big-mouth cow! 30 years we've been married, and every day of those 30 years I've said, mind your own fucking business! Shit! And now we're both gonna get beaten up by these 2 black boys.
Christmas morning, we'd always wake up and go, has he been? Has he been? Has he been? Because we knew Dad wouldn't put the presents out until after he'd had a shit. It wasn't the jingling of bells we listened out for in our house, believe you me. Me and my little sister under the covers. I think I can hear Santa straining. I think I can smell his reindeer. This year I switched the lights on in Carlisle. It's nothing to do with Christmas, but they've got electricity now, so that's good. I bought an advent calendar for Jehovah's Witnesses. Behind every door, somebody tells you to piss off. I bought a Travelodge advent calendar. It's still got chocolate in, but you can't open the windows. I got a Microsoft advent calendar. You open too many windows at once and they all shut again for no bloody reason. I took a poll recently and 100% of people were quite annoyed that their tent had fallen down. Last week I launched a book aimed at 9 to 12-year-olds, and I'm proud to say I hit one of the little shits. I remember one time the teacher asked me for a word with 4 eyes, and I said, Mississippi. He said, no, I mean, I want to have a word, you specky twat. A friend of mine's been suffering from paranoid delusions, and now he thinks he's a chocolate orange. I worry he's going to be sectioned. Poor Terry. I used to be a fortune teller, but all I ever predicted was really cold winters. Turned out the crystal ball shop had sold me a snow globe. In my last job, I just used to punch buttons all day, and that's why I'm no longer allowed to do panto. I nearly lost my job as a roofer when I was caught masturbating on the first day. Luckily, my boss said I could wipe the slate clean. New Year's a time for getting healthier, isn't it? You know. Next year, I've decided that I'm going to do dry January and see if I can manage an entire month without any foreplay. My golf instructor said I need to work on my follow-through. I said, is it my swing? He said, no, you've got shit down the back of your trousers. I found out 2 new things this week. 1, sperm isn't actually good for your skin. And 2, my dermatologist has been struck off. My dad's been suffering from seizures. So far, they've taken his car, his house, and his boat. My wife always cheats when she's on a diet. She hides bars of chocolate all around the house and fucks other men.
I grew up in Dudley, in the West Midlands. Yeah, a lot of people grow up there because that's the only thing there is to do. What are you doing? Growing. In the 50s, my parents emigrated from Jamaica to Dudley. Yeah, Nancy, I'm going to say that again just for you. They emigrated from Jamaica to Dudley. Why? What was my dad thinking? Bloody blue sky all the time. I want hail and sleet and snow. All this joyous reggae music. Where can a man get some Des O'Connor? We need pack your bags, we're going to Dudley. They made me go to church every Sunday. The Pentecostal Church of God in Prophecy. See, that's a black name. White churches are always called things like St. Thomas's. We're all outside going, St. Thomas's what? St. Thomas's Epiphany of the Shining Light of God in Christ in West Bromwich? Now that's a name. You arrived late for church. Sorry I'm late, I was reading the signs. It's as good as Stephen King. I went to Blue Coat Secondary Modern School in Dudley. A lot of bullying there. I mean, you know, back in the day, it was different as well. You get punched in the face, you keep it to yourself. Nowadays, you go straight to the head teacher. Peter Wilkins has been punching me every day since the start of term. I'm not going to teach him anymore. I've got a daughter, 17. She's got a pet name for me. Taxi. Yeah, because the only time I see her is in the car, and even then she gets in the back. I'm like, how was school? She's like, you're not one of those cabbies who's going to talk all the time, are you? Her childhood's different from mine. I mean, you know, when I was a kid, it felt like everybody in Dudley had permission to beat me. It wasn't just my mum. You know, I'd be mucking about in the street, suddenly, bam! Mrs. Fearon from number 14 slapped me around the face. Then she'd drag me to my house and tell my mum, Mrs. Henry, I saw Len misbehaving in the street, so I beat him for you. Do you know what my mother said to this woman? Thank you very much. I have 6 other children. Help yourself anytime. We made a documentary in Dudley about my mum last year. My brother Paul said this on camera, no word of a lie. Lynn, when mum used to beat you, we used to think it was really funny. Bastards! Where's the solidarity in that? I'm getting my arse tore up, they're eating popcorn, they've pulled up chairs. Oh, it's not as funny as last week. Mom, work the ribs now, work the ribs. Mom, Harley Shuffle, remember? Harley, Boomba, Mom, like Popeye, remember? Fabida, 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 fabida. When Mom used to beat me, she always said the same thing. I'm not doing this for me, it's for your own good. Black parents are insane. I'm not doing this for me, it's for your own good. All the white people, what kind of parenting is that? Lamar's like, yeah, me too. Oh, man. You know what I'd like to see on television? Jamaican Super Nanny. Beat him if it's been bad, beat him if it's been good. Beat him to show how much you love him. Beat him till your arms hurt so much. You have to beat if I'm making your arms hurt so much. She wouldn't mess about, would she? All right, no. This is what I call the naughty cheer. What's that for? You pick it up and you beat him with it. I'm not doing this for me, it's for your own rotten good.
London, just a city dragging itself up by its cranes to ever new heights of unaffordability. It's been that way for years now, right? It's just a playground for the super wealthy and their offspring. And I'm not from that sort of background myself, regardless of what you may think from the way that I just pronounced the word years. I'm not, it's just a voice. This is genuinely true. During the last year for which I have available data, the high school I went to sent more people to ISIS than Oxbridge. Let you guess which way I went? Pleasure to be here. Allahu Akbar. Lock the doors. You might think the last line's obviously a joke. I'll get letters. Genuinely, I get strangers anonymously contacting me online insisting that I want to impose Sharia law on the West, which, as the atheist son of Hindu parents, makes me feel ever so naughty. Sharia, moi. And now, look at me. Regular guy on the BBC at Christmas time. Yeah. Although, admittedly, owing to the BBC's diversity regulations, because I'm on the bill, you now have to refer to it as Krishna time. I know, right? O.M. Ganesh. Lots of differences between the generations. My favorite Christmas film is Die Hard. My dad's still waiting for the Hindu remake. Die Hard, get reincarnated, die even harder. It's been an interesting time this year. Lots of changes in my area at the moment, right? My part of London is undergoing a lot of rapid gentrification. they call it, right? I don't know if I can be a gentrifier because... I've gentrified places in the past. I work in the arts, don't get me wrong, right? I remember a while ago I lived in a place called Streatham in South London, and when I came towards the end of my tenancy, I remember walking to the station and realizing that overnight a minicab office had been replaced by a vegan bakery, and I was like, my work here is done. It's different from the way that it used to be, you know? When my grandparents came to this country, my grandparents came to this country with nothing, and yet they were able to start a family here, they were able to build a life for them, they were able to own property, largely because they drove down house prices in every neighborhood they went to, but they were able... Property. It's not like that anymore for the different generations, right? So what do the young people do? You wait, you're probably watching this at home, all the generations together at last at Krishna time. Huh? All of the young people waiting for a grandparent to cough and hoping that that's what's finally going to get them on the property ladder. The problem is, as with any kind of inequality, with intergenerational inequality, the deck is stacked and we pretend it's a question of priorities that's made outcomes not identical, right? The number of times that I've heard, oh, you're worried you'll never get on the housing ladder, but you'll spend £3 on one of your fancy coffees, yeah? Yeah, oh, yeah, well, you'll never get a little flat, but you'll spend £3 on one of your fancy coffees. Bruv, that's because you bought all the £3 houses. Few of those left, I'd prioritize that over a gingerbread latte. That is not the world that we currently live in, right? Guys, I currently, as an individual, earn more than both of my parents did, put together, adjusted in real terms, when 23 years ago they bought a 4-bedroom detached house in North London. The problem is my fondness for brunch. Sure.
I love watching television. I hate losing the remote control, even if I'm not the one looking for it. Because the house just goes crazy, doesn't it? Why does no one believe you when you say you are not sitting on the remote control? I am not sitting on it! Leave me alone! Come on, just get up. I'm not, I told you! I would be able to feel it. Leave me alone. Come on, just get up. I'm not getting up. I'm comfortable. Please leave me alone. Come on, just get up. I'll leave you alone. I'm not getting... Please go away. Come on, just get up. I forgot. Sorry, there you go. Sorry. My arse can't feel it. For some reason, your arse can't feel the remote control. It's weird. I'm very sorry. I'm sorry. But a lot of people are cutting down on watching television now. You don't lose the remote control. No, people watch programs on the laptop. I've got the laptop. This has made me so lazy. This is ruining my life. I don't even turn mine off anymore, do you? I just close it. I can't be bothered with all that. Shut down, are you sure? Questions, questions! Leave me alone! Mine's been on for years. The poor thing's there just going, I'm boiling! Please turn me off! Even the oven gets a break. Come on! I got the laptop because I thought this would be brilliant. I'll have a computer on the move. I'll have a computer on the go. I'll be able to use the computer in the cafe, on the train. It'd be brilliant. The only time I ever use my laptop, just like anyone else, is lying down in bed. That's it. I'm not moving. That's it, isn't it? It's not even a laptop anymore, is it? When was the last time you put it on your lap? You put it there. It's a crutch top. That's what it is. It's just there, burning your balls. Sperm going, it's hot! Please stop! You just lie there in that disgusting position. You know that position in bed? You know that one that every one of your friends sees you in on Skype? All right. Yeah. When you can't see them on Skype, you won't talk to them unless you can see them. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? When they do pop up, you're not looking at them anyway, are you? You're looking at the picture of yourself. You can't believe how much you look like a bear. What the fuck? Why do I look so disgusting? Help me! That's the nighttime position, that one, isn't it? That's the nighttime. The daytime one's on the side, laptop on the bed, like that. Looks like you're on Babe Station, doesn't it? Call me. Call me. Make sure you call me. You take for granted with a laptop. You know, you get uncomfortable in bed, you want to turn round. Yeah, the laptop, you're just going like, oh, that's better, watch it like that. You take that for granted. To be a kid watching a film at night, television will be on the side of the room going, I'm really enjoying this. I really want to turn round. You'd convince yourself that you'd listen for a bit. I'll just turn around for a bit and listen.
I've realised that the musician I want to be is the drummer from Coldplay. I want to be the drummer from Coldplay so badly because that dude is rich as shit and no one knows who the fuck he is. Who the drummer from Coldplay is. He could be here and no one would know. It could be you, it could be you, it could be you. I'm not sure it's an Indian woman, but it could be. We don't know. I'm obsessed with the idea that this guy has the best life in the world. And I was telling my friend about this, and she tried to tell me something that she was trying to portray as a bad thing. Apparently, he loves Game of Thrones, so he said to HBO, can I be in Game of Thrones? And they were like, yeah, man, you're the drummer from Coldplay. You can do literally anything you want. We'll restart The Sopranos if that's something that will make you happy, right? Now, he is in Game of Thrones. Confession time, I don't watch Game of Thrones, but even I know the Red Wedding is an important episode of Game of Thrones, right? He is in the Red Wedding. Guess what he is doing in the Red Wedding? He is the drummer in the wedding band. That is the extent to which this guy's anonymity is a borderline superpower. He is in the most famous episode of one of the most popular television shows in the world, doing the thing he is famous for, and no one noticed. That is Kaiser Soze shit. And my friend was telling me that she read a supposedly embarrassing story that one of the actors told. One of the actors said that when they were shooting the Red Wedding, he was making small talk with the extras, and he got round to the drummer from Coldplay and said, are you a full-time extra? And the guy was like, no, I'm a musician. So he said, to the drummer from Coldplay, you played on anything I might have heard of? To which the drummer from Coldplay was presumably like, have you heard of All Music? Because I'm basically the drummer on All Music. And my friend tried to tell me this, like this was a sad thing. She was like, oh, this guy's in Coldplay, but no one knows that he's in Coldplay. Isn't that sad? No. Because the problem with being in Coldplay is that people hate Coldplay. People hate Coldplay so much. And the people who hate Coldplay don't say things like, oh, it's not to my taste. They say things like this, I hate Coldplay! But what you mean when you say that is, I hate Chris Martin. No one is angry with the drummer from Coldplay. No one has ever been like, oh, the drummer from Coldplay! He ruined my life! And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Nish, why are you so obsessed with the drummer from Coldplay? There's 2 other people in that band. We don't know anything about them either. And you know what? You're right. There's a guitar player and a bassist in Coldplay. I wouldn't know them even if they were here. I assume it's you two, but only because they sat next to her and I spoke to her already. That's all I've got to go on at this point. They have the exact same life as the drummer, because I did a bit of research into this. Turns out Coldplay are one of those bands where they split the royalties equally. So they have the exact same life as the drummer, apart from one detail. They have the exact same life as the drummer. They have the same level of wealth, access, and anonymity. But crucially, the drummer is sat down. And that is the dream.
I get concerned about the message that we send, young women a lot on TV and, in the media, because right now we live at the height of materialism, where it's suggested to young girls especially that you can indulge the most depraved man as long as he's rich. This is evidenced by the franchise 50 Shades of Grey. Has everybody here seen 50 Shades of Grey or read it? Okay, some of you are shaking your heads. Fine. I will give you a quick plot summary of 50 Shades of Grey. I will be paraphrasing in this monologue, by the way. Is everybody ready? Yeah! Here is 50 Shades of Grey, abridged by Dame Baptiste. Hi, I'm a pretty naive American young girl who doesn't know about sex, even though I have access to the internet and my friend's a journalist. Mr. Grey, you seem so mysterious and rich. Can I interview you? That's right, baby. I am mysterious, and I'm rich as hell. Can I put a pineapple in your ass? I mean, some other stuff happens, but that's pretty much it. It's fair. Unfortunately, we live in a time where, materialism is encouraged, Do you guys remember the song No Scrubs by TLC? Yeah, great song for the ladies. Not so fun for the unemployed male. That was not a fun song to hear when I was younger. Remember how that song used to go? If you live at home with your mama, oh yes, son, I'm talking to you. If you live at home with your mother, they're talking to you. What if I'm a full-time carer? I'm supposed to leave my mother lumbered with bedroom tax, then go live with a bunch of strangers and pay somebody else's mortgage, then have those strangers question my life choices, which my mother already does, but I get rice and peas when she does it. Sitting in the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. Sitting in the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. I'm sorry, if me and my friends are concerned about our carbon footprint, I'm not entitled to find love? If you don't have a car and you're walking, oh yes, son, I'm talking to you. If you don't have a car and you're walking, they're talking to you. So we're supposed to leave our houses in 4 separate cars, knowing full well petrol prices are at £1.25 per litre in some stations. Then if you go into London, you're paying a congestion charge 4 times. If you're going out of London, you're paying a toll charge 4 times. Then wherever we get when we're going, then you gotta pay a parking charge 4 times. And if we're all driving, then guess what we can't do? We can't drink, because when you all take separate cars, there's no designated driver, TLC. Which means when we finally do get to the club, because of all the traffic, because there's 4 cars adding to that traffic, we gotta drink water and sparkling water, then pay club prices for fruit juice. So I'm paying £7.25 for a cranberry juice, and we've been planning this night the most DLC!
I've made a list of pros and cons, because I've been spending a lot of time in brothels and prisons. Made a list of pros and cons, always good. Give you a bit of balance, Con, complete loss of all feelings of hope and possibility. Well, it doesn't sound very good, does it? It doesn't sound much fun, does it? Pro, increased plug socket access. Bang, 1-1. I say increased. It's actually total plug socket access. I've got 32 plug sockets in my house. Each and every one of them is now under my sole domain. Con, all experiences that formed the basis of my happiness and sense of self-worth are now destroyed by grief. Downer. A bit of a downer, isn't it? Pro, less recycling. I can fit it all in the green box now. It's remarkable when you take into account just how much I'm drinking. Oh, John, you're meant to heat mulled wine. All right, Your Highness, hand me the bottle and leave. Con, I'm gonna lose my house. Bit of fun. Pro, 25% off council tax. I was on that like a ferret. Dialing as the door slammed. And that's us fresh out of cons. The rest are just pros, guys. Yeah. Increased freezer space, all 4 drawers. Cheaper gas and electric. Reduced wear and tear on fixtures and fittings. And when I say reduced, I don't mean by half, because I was only ever responsible for about 10% of scuffs and spills. So we're looking at a net reduction of 90% in real terms. This is my favourite one. Ultimate control over where the iPhone charger cable is and why it is there. There was a time it would take hours to answer the questions, where is the iPhone charger cable and why is it there? Not anymore. Plugged in next to the bed, most convenient place to have it. Simple. Is it unplugged in the bathroom? No, it's not. Be a ludicrous place to keep it. There's no plug socket in the bathroom. Is it in the front pocket of a rucksack you no longer use? That'll be the last place you look. That'll be very frustrating. Is it plugged in on a train we have alighted from? No. It's plugged in next to the bed because that's the most convenient place to have it.
Let's lighten the mood a little bit. Let's talk about terrorism. Terrorism... Listen, one of my main issues with terrorism is simple, all right? It's got people that have known me my entire life doubting my credibility, all right? It's mad thing. And I want to let you know, all right? You guys are a little bit worried at the moment. I'll make it explicit for you. I am not a member of ISIS, all right? I'm not, okay? I have nothing to do with those people. I don't follow their ideology. That's because I've got 6 months left on my Al-Qaeda membership. I'm a lot... Where did they go? My gosh. I'm going to get some water, all right? Flipping it. It was a bad choice wearing this heavy-ass jacket, you know what I mean? And you know what, actually? Ooh, squirting all over the place. I tell you what is the biggest threat to Muslims on the face of the planet today, all right? Dehydration. We cannot carry around clear liquids in a bottle anywhere, all right? Exactly. Dying up here on this stage, dying in airplanes, stressing me out. But the thing about, listen, hey, can I pop this here? Bruv, can you have that? Thank you, my G. One of the worst things about terrorism is how it's got people doubting my credibility. People I've known my whole life, all right? I want to give you an example. I've got a neighbor, okay? She's called Maud. She's known me for 27 years. And because of the media narrative, the way that the media portrays Muslims, minorities, Black Lives Matter, the world is very divisive. Who in this room just wants to live and get along? Make some noise. Exactly, we all want to, all right? But the media has got people doubting me, all right? So I've had my neighbor 27 years. We've got it's a nice, simple thing. It's a neighborly thing to do, all right? A regular Friday wheelie bin ritual. We grab the wheelie bin, drag it down to the end of the driveway, have a quick natter, go back in. It's what neighbours do, innit? It's what neighbours do, all right? This particular Friday, Maud is like clockwork, but she was late. And I'm thinking, rah, is Maud okay? I hope she's all right. Usually she's like, the bin was stinking of shit, but I thought, you know what, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna be a good neighbour and have this conversation. Boom. 3 minutes later, boom! She kicks open the door. She's stressed. She's flustered. I said, Maud, is everything okay? She says, now, Gus, everything is far from all right. Have you seen the news? I'm like, listen, Maud, a lot of my cousins are on there. I don't watch that shit. You know that. Bring back a lot of bad memories for me, Maud. She says, Gus, it's the ISIS. I-Z-I. She's from Birmingham, that's how she spells it. It's the ISIS. They've been doing terrible bloody terrorisms again, them lot. I was like, yo, Maud, listen, that's bad. I don't agree with those people, and, you know, I hope they're brought to justice. She says, you say that, Guzzy, yeah? But you got to tell me something, babes. You're nothing like them, are you? I said, what? Maud, you know me 27 years, baby. I'm nothing like them. Stop buying into the media narrative. Stop buying into the news. I'm me, Guz, your neighbour. She says, I know you say that. It's just that from very specific angles. This is a very Bin Laden look you've got going on there. I said, hey, I don't even look like that guy. It's very racist. She says, Guz, I know, I'm just being silly. But you just do me one more favour though, babes, okay? It's just more for my rod, really, yeah? If you hear anything about it before the news does, just let me know.
We have a great show for you tonight. We have a fantastic show. Very funny comedians. I know funny. Very funny. People always ask me who I think is funny. That's the number 2 question I get asked as a comedian. The number 1 question I get asked as a comedian is, have you ever died? As soon as you tell someone you're a comedian, first thing they want to know, oh, you ever died? Oh, what's it like when no one laughs? Oh, tell us about the worst gig you've ever had in your life. Please, relive for me, in minute detail, the worst moment of your professional career. Have you ever really died? It's like saying to a doctor, tell us about the last patient you lost. What happened? With the family crying. I bet they were they? Yeah. People are such ghouls. It's the number 1 question. Have you ever died? Number 2 question, though, is what makes you laugh? People always want to know that from me. Who do you think is funny? And that's a nicer question. That's more understandable. You know, I make people laugh. People want to know what makes me laugh. In the same ways you might say to your hairdresser, who cuts your hair? Or you might say to someone in an Audi, who do you think drives like a cock? I like that joke. It's a short joke, it's a sharp joke, and also with that joke, I get to spot every Audi driver in the room. I can just see a pinched expression on your face there. All right, no need to be like that about it. I've done well for myself. It's a very reliable machine. And the fact that I can tell you're an Audi driver by the expression on your face means technically you've just given a form of indication. So well done. Good for you. Who knew you could do it? Yeah. Have you ever died? Who do you think is funny? You always get asked the same questions. That's what I don't like doing interviews. I love doing this job. This is great. I love standing here talking to you, though. But doing interviews, it's a necessary evil. It's part of the job. Having to answer questions. And I don't even like watching interviews. You'd rather watch a comedian tell jokes than talk about how they wrote them. You'd rather watch a singer sing songs than talk about their inspiration. You'd rather watch a sports person do their sport. You'd certainly rather watch a sports person do their sport. Come on now. Sports interviews can be turgid affairs at best. And then I hit it with my foot. You mean you kicked it? If you like. They're really interesting. They're really, and I'm not slagging sports people. It takes a great deal of single-mindedness to excel at a sport to a point where people want to interview you about it. But sports people are famous because they're good at sport, not because they're good at talking about sport. That's why you find a sports person who is good at talking about sport, the BBC will cream their knickers over them. We found a woman. She used to ride horses. That's a sport. And she's quite lively and engaging and charismatic. Put her on absolutely everything! Do not let her out of your sight. Even people I'm a fan of. Andy Murray. I love Andy Murray. Britain should be very proud of Andy Murray. He's done a lot to be proud of. He's won Wimbledon. He's Olympic gold medalist. And he put up with a lot of shit when he was, 8th best in the world? Oh, you bloody loser, you. He's done a lot to be proud of. He's won Wimbledon, he's Olympic gold medalist, he's magnanimous in victory, he's humble in defeat. And he's a big comedy fan. He's been to see me live, I've met him, lovely bloke. But Jesus Christ. I cannot listen to him drone on one more time about how he won, stroke lost another tennis match. I can't do it.
And he hit back to me, and I'm very good at tennis, but he is also very good at tennis. Some days I'm better at tennis than he is, but I think what's happened today was he was slightly better at tennis than I am, and that's maybe why he won the game of the...
Oh, for God's sake, man! I'm not very sporty, you can probably tell. I like hill walking. Doesn't really count as a sport. I like hill walking and camping. Proper camping, though. None of your glamping bullshit. Glamping. Derivation of the words glamorous and camping, where you stay in a yurt, which is more expensive than a hotel. What is wrong with you? A lot of people don't realise yurt is a derivation of the words yura and twat. A lot of people don't realise that.
Going away with my wife, she does this thing, right? If you get her in an airport, I'm not allowed to have my own passport. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I'm a 40-year-old man. I get to passport control. They say, you got your passport, mate? I'm like, no. I'm not allowed to carry it. Apparently, I'm not mature enough. I don't know what happens, man. The moment you get near an airport, she becomes like some sort of Russian people trafficker. Do you know what I mean? She's like, I must have all the passports. You cannot handle passport. You are too stupid for a passport. I must keep all passports in zippy clear travel document folder, huh? Alongside printout from TripAdvisor. But you may carry the bags. I'm like a peasant boy for the day. Oh, thank you, master. Thank you very much. Yes, it's a real honor for me to carry your bags, you know. 11 pair of shoes for 3-day mini break is a good idea, huh? Yes. Maybe you will become a centipede while we are in Egypt. Who knows? I went on a stag do recently. I went to the Munich Beer Festival. Has anybody here been to the Munich Beer Fest? Seemingly everybody. How many days did you go for, mate? No days. Got deported on arrival. We went for 7 days. We got there on a Monday, right? We had 6 straight days drinking, Monday through Saturday. And on the Sunday, we said, we've got to do something different, right? So we went to Dachau concentration camp. Yeah. It was a weird shout. There's no getting away from it. Could have gone go-karting. I said, no, let's do some World War II here. It took a long time to get there, and when we got there, it was shut. Now, yeah, it felt inconvenient. However, given the wider backdrop of historical suffering, I didn't necessarily think that my inconvenience was that big a deal, right? So I just thought I'll take it on the chin. But we had a mate of us called Tim, and Tim started popping off at the German security guard. He said, mate, it's a Sunday, yeah? It's a big tourist day. It's outrageous that it's shut. I said, to be fair, it's outrageous that it was ever open, you know what I mean? It is weird that you're making this about you, Tim, to be honest. People say dumb things, though, don't they? I was having a beer with my mate Wayne the other day, and Wayne likes to tell you where he was on the occasion of big historical news events that happened within our lifetime, right? So I mentioned 9/11, and Wayne went, 9/11, remember where I was that day? I was like, don't care where you were. I don't see how it's relevant. I don't see how your whereabouts on that fateful, terrible day will form some sort of meaningful historical footnote, Wayne. I'm being honest here. He looked hurt. He went, all right, where were you? He went, karate. I went, see, that's exactly the sort of trivial shit I was worried about, Wayne. He said, well, you know, I was in New York 6 months before that. Makes you think, doesn't it? I was like, no. No, to be honest, all it makes me think is I wish you'd been there 6 months later. Sorry.
I've realised that the musician I want to be is the drummer from Coldplay. I want to be the drummer from Coldplay so badly because that dude is rich as shit and no one knows who the fuck he is. Who the drummer from Coldplay is. He could be here and no one would know. It could be you, it could be you, it could be you. I'm not sure it's an Indian woman, but it could be. We don't know. I'm obsessed with the idea that this guy has the best life in the world. And I was telling my friend about this, and she tried to tell me something that she was trying to portray as a bad thing. Apparently, he loves Game of Thrones, so he said to HBO, can I be in Game of Thrones? And they were like, yeah, man, you're the drummer from Coldplay. You can do literally anything you want. We'll restart The Sopranos if that's something that will make you happy, right? Now, he is in Game of Thrones. Confession time, I don't watch Game of Thrones, but even I know the Red Wedding is an important episode of Game of Thrones, right? He is in the Red Wedding. Guess what he is doing in the Red Wedding? He is the drummer in the wedding band. That is the extent to which this guy's anonymity is a borderline superpower. He is in the most famous episode of one of the most popular television shows in the world, doing the thing he is famous for, and no one noticed. That is Kaiser Soze shit. And my friend was telling me that she read a supposedly embarrassing story that one of the actors told. One of the actors said that when they were shooting The Red Wedding, he was making small talk with the extras, and he got round to the drummer from Coldplay and said, "Are you a full-time extra?" And the guy was like, "No, I'm a musician." So he said, to the drummer from Coldplay, "You played on anything I might have heard of?" To which the drummer from Coldplay was presumably like, have you heard of All Music? Because I'm basically the drummer on All Music. And my friend tried to tell me this, like this was a sad thing. She was like, oh, this guy's in Coldplay, but no one knows that he's in Coldplay. Isn't that sad? No. Because the problem with being in Coldplay is that people hate Coldplay. People hate Coldplay so much. And the people who hate Coldplay don't say things like, oh, it's not to my taste. They say things like this, I hate Coldplay! But what you mean when you say that is, I hate Chris Martin. No one is angry with the drummer from Coldplay. No one has ever been like, oh, the drummer from Coldplay! He ruined my life! And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Nish, why are you so obsessed with the drummer from Coldplay? There's two other people in that band. We don't know anything about them either. And you know what? You're right. There's a guitar player and a bassist in Coldplay. I wouldn't know them even if they were here. I assume it's you two, but only because they sat next to her and I spoke to her already. That's all I've got to go on at this point. They have the exact same life as the drummer, because I did a bit of research into this. Turns out Coldplay are one of those bands where they split the royalties equally. So they have the exact same life as the drummer, apart from one detail. They have the exact same life as the drummer. They have the same level of wealth, access, and anonymity. But crucially, the drummer is sat down. And that is the dream.
I've been doing camp old nonsense in show business for 20 years now, and I've worked with some fascinating people like Postman Pat. I'm sorry to tell you, but the man's a I'm sorry for language. But we did Panto a couple of years ago, and he was constantly upstaging me and pulling focus. In the end, I said, you're doesn't walk like that off stage, you know, it's all put on. And on the other hand, you know, I've worked with some fascinating people like Dale Winton. Dale Winton and I went to stage school together, and when we were both about 15, we shot up together. Dale is lovely. He'll do anything for anybody, anything from helping an old lady across the road to buggery. There was one awful occasion when he got a bit confused. Afraid so. Bugged an old lady across the road, but she saw the funny side of it. Put it down to youthful high spirits. But if I had to think of a highlight of my career, well, there are two, really. I did 2 Royal Variety performances, and you get to meet the royals afterwards, which is the whole point, really. Have you met them, Abby? Not encountered any royalty, it's just a question of time. The second Royal Variety was in front of Her Majesty the Queen, and I was standing there with Frankie Dettori on one side, and she got to me, and just before she got to me, suddenly became aware of a little kind of smidgen of wind that was trapped within, as can happen, and I thought, well, I can't really drop one in front of the Queen. That's probably treason. So I'll have to get rid of it, and because sometimes you can get rid of wind from whence it came by, you know, willpower and internal squeezing. Well, I had a go at that, but it wasn't going anywhere. So I let nature take its course, and unfortunately, on that occasion, I shat myself. Isn't it always the way, though? Just when you're about to meet a monarch. No, it's all right. I mean, I better just explain, because I'm on this special diet, no wheat, no meat, no dairy, no cigarettes, no alcohol, I barely breathe diet. And as a consequence, my stools are not as other people's. They're very, very compact, kind of capsule-type affairs, hardly any bigger than a Nurofen Plus. And fragrant, I might add, generally lavender-scented, sometimes with a hint of juniper. People use them as drawer fresheners. They will be on sale in the foyer as you leave. Make an ideal Christmas gift. And she said to me, "Oh, very, very good. Were you very nervous?" I said, "Oh, just a tad." And so I thought I'd better get rid of it, and I shook my leg like that, and it shot across the stage. Who should be over there but Dame Shirley Bassey? Well, she's a wise old bird, and she saw it coming, and she deflected it like that. It shot through the air. Who should be over there with her mouth open, as usual, but Claire Sweeney? And I'm afraid... Poor old Claire. She's been talking shit ever since.
We need to bring back a sense of consequences for our actions. In this world, there are no more consequences for actions, yeah? And what I'm talking about, if there's no consequences in this life, what we need to do is bring back to Britain a simple sense of hell. The idea, if we screw up in this life, right, we will burn in sulphur for all eternity in the next life. Now, this is quite a tough sell, right? You don't like that idea, do you? Right, but hear me out, this is a good idea. We got any Christians present? I need your assistance. Any Christian people here this evening? Yeah, in the pink shirt. What's your name, son? Josh. Fantastic. You a Christian? So you understand the idea of redemption, eternity, yeah? Resurrection, eternity in particular. And I do too. I understand the notion of eternity, because I went to church on Sunday. Let me tell you this, that service went on forever. Right? If it took me an hour to open a bottle of wine, I'd be drummed out of business. Now, the point is this. How long does it take to own a packet of crisps? Get on with it. Now, we need to bring back... Now, the problem with the idea of hell is no one's frightened of it. Now, I'm going to describe hell for you now, and none of you are going to bat an eyelid, right? And while your body's boiling mouldering in the grave, we'll take your soul and boil it in boiling oil for 1,000 millennium. Then after that, 2 sulphurous demons, emissaries of Satan himself, will come along, pull out your kidneys and set fire to them on the red-hot coals of hell itself. Then after this, another demon will come along, pull out your eyeballs, stick them on a red-hot poker, burn them on the hot coals of hell, and stick them up your arsehole, and they'll come out your own mouth with the shit on it. And this will go on forever. So you're not bothered by that, are you? In fact, most of you are laughing at it, huh? In fact, most of us, being British, are thinking, well, come on then! Call yourself the devil! And that's the interesting thing about hell, isn't it? When you describe it, when someone describes hell, it tells you everything you need to know about that person, right? And what he's like and what his people are like. And I describe hell then in a normal British accent, which tells you that we, the British, are stoic, tough people who could take absolutely bloody anything. Right? And that's the interesting thing about hell. It tells you about the people telling you about it. Hell in a French accent, for instance. Sounds like a recipe. And while the body is lying down and the worms inside the flesh, we take out the soul and place it in very hot oil for a long time. Then, once it is tender, two demons come together at once, remove the kidneys and place them on the hot coals with a little white wine vinegar, some sea salt, and some rosemary, and cook them till they're brown on the outside but still pink in the middle. Then after this, we take the eyeballs, place them on the hot coals, cook them till they're crunchy on the outside, runny in the middle, on the hot poker, stick them up the arse, they come out the mouth with the shit on. It is delicious. Absolutely magnifique. Hey, you see? Perverts! Perverts, basically, yeah? Hell, in a Dutch accent sounds like a pretty good stag do, doesn't it? Hey, and while your body is lying down, we'll take you to the hottest place you can imagine. Imagine the hottest place you can go, yeah? Now go even hotter. And two demons will come together and rub oil all over your body. Two demons together. Two demons together at once. And then you will take out your kidneys. Oh, your hot kidneys. Your hot kidneys. And place the kidneys in a hot place and cook the kidneys till they're hard. Until your kidneys are hard. And then take out your eyeballs and stick them in your bum hole. And this will cost you 45 euros. Hey, I mean, really? Sounds like an agreeable weekend.
The thing is, like, I've met some crazy people and with some crazy ideologies. One of the craziest people I met, and the funniest, were these guys called the Black Israelites. If you don't know the Black Israelites, right, it's a group of black dudes in New York. Right? They think the black man's the original Jew. Right? They think the white man's the devil. I mean, look, you know, they have a point, right? And they think Jesus, right, is coming back to put white people in slavery, right? Which, look, I think is messed up. Because I think white people would make terrible slaves. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, you whip them once, they run to the manager. You know, you try and give them bread and water. Is it gluten-free? No. Not gluten-free. I know some old white woman making my dinner and stuff like, Margaret, if you make me another shepherd's pie, I'm gonna sell your ass. Sandwich porch. Start selling people. I don't know. I get called a lot of stuff now. Especially with the internet, I get called tons of stuff. I get called racist words, and I get called racist for making jokes about white people. I just want to say my mom's white. I have one at home. She's fine. I have one. I have no issues with white people, love white people, right? But everyone calls me mad things. And I'll be honest with you, when you get called a lot of stuff, you have to have like thick skin. You can't let it bother you, because it'll just get you down if you always listen to that stuff. And it's never bothered me, except for one time. Someone said something about me, and it just really annoyed. Basically, someone called me middle class, and it just really... I threw my avocado on the floor. I was perturbed. I was like, mother, take this away. I can't finish this avocado. Man. If you don't know Ilford, it's in between East London. Don't you cheer Ilford, goddammit, you hooligan. Ilford is horrible. It's in between East London and hell. That's where Ilford is. Don't want to go Ilford, right? It's that weird thing. It's like you work hard and then people think they can take away your identity from you. And that's like a weird point. It's like you can't be working class because you've worked hard. You get to play lovely gigs like this. You can't be what you are. And the thing is, I am working class in my heart. But there's a conflict. My brain says different sometimes. You know? Like, sometimes my friends will call me from prison. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. They'll call me up and they'll be like, yo, Jamali, you need to start repping for the mandem. And I go, you know what? I need to start repping for the mandem. They say, you need to start saying free the mandem. I'm like, you know what? I need to start saying free the mandem. And that's in my heart. I believe that. We should free the mandem. But then my brain goes, yes, Jamali. But now you have stuff they want to steal. If they've completed the course, maybe. I don't know. Free them up if they've, you know, if they've repented. I don't know. If they ring me up, they'll be like, yo, say free Ginger J. Free Ginger J. Say free Worm. Is Worm still locked up? You better free him. Say free Killer. Nah, I don't know about Killer, man. I'm not saying we should never free Killer, just don't free him where I live. Because I live in a nice gentrified area now, just what I'm saying. So it's like, and I'm angry at gentrification, but it's hard because it's delicious. I'm drinking my latte going, oh, these hipsters, do you know? Like, so yeah, free hit killer, but just not where I live, not in my community. Because gentrification is a weird one, because does anyone remember when London was shit? Like, Hammersmith was shit. None of you would have been able to be here. It was that bad. It was never Peckham shit. Peckham was shit. I go as far as Bethnal Green and look at Peckham through a telescope. That's as far as I go. But gentrification is a weird one, because can we disagree that you see, like, middle-class hipsters that moved to the ghetto pre-gentrification are some of the most bravest people in the world? Only a hipster can go to the hood and go, no, I see potential. Seriously,
So no, it's really nice being married. I like it. I feel like it's turned me into a woman, you know. I know it's turned me into a woman because I've started buying candles. Bitches love candles though, don't they? Bitches love candles. They're so expensive though, the fancy ones, like the Joe Malone ones. I've worked out it's actually better value and you can get the same effect if you just set fire to a £20 note and sniff a fig roll. Not just candles am I buying though, guys. I've been buying other little bits for the house. I call them trinkets. Australian husband calls them great. Another bit of tat with a shit quote on. It's not true, they're essentials. How else am I supposed to remember to dance like nobody is watching? Unless I have a piece of driftwood to remind me to. Essentials. But my sister says the reason I like all this stuff is because I'm nesting, and she thinks that's really good. She's like, you need to have a baby. You need to have a baby so you've got something to look after you when you're old. I'm like, hang on, isn't that what the NHS is for? Unless the NHS is that screwed that by the time I'm old, you literally have had to give birth to your own medical professional. Push, push, oh, congratulations, it's an oncologist. Because I'm not sure about having kids right now, so it means I'm very aware of my contraception. So I've done all the research for you. So the pill, 99% effective. Condoms, 99% effective. Eating a large Indian takeaway. And then going, oh, look how pregnant I look. 100% effective. But my view on kids actually helped me become a little bit of an internet sensation earlier this year. There was a thing on Facebook, I don't know if you saw it, it was called the Motherhood Challenge. So it's where mums were putting up 5 photos of themselves that made them proud to be a mother. So there were pictures of like little Ken on the beach, little Ken trying avocado for the first time, little Ken asking, what kind of a name is Ken for a toddler? Lovely, lovely. Now, I do not have a problem with anyone being proud to be a parent. I just saw a lot of this stuff, thought I'm going to do the opposite. I did the non-motherhood challenge. I posted 5 photos of myself that made me proud not to be a mother. 4 of those were pictures of me asleep. And the 5th one was of me asleep, holding a bottle of wine. Really, really silly, right? Whacked it up on Facebook, didn't really think any more about it. For some reason, it went bananas, right? It went viral, got shared a gazillion times, went all the way around the world. At one point, I became Woman of the Week on a Swahili parenting blog. And it was really interesting seeing the different responses. I got back to it. So the first lot of people to write on my Facebook page were women like me without children, saying things like, oh, Ellie, thanks for giving us, the childless, a voice. I was like, no worries, babes, you're welcome.
One of the major good things that's come out of it is how we've embraced new technology, isn't it? Because it's just unbelievable. Who knew what Zoom was 2 years ago? None of us. Like last week, I had to do a speed awareness course online. Now, you should be doing that on something called Zoom, but that's the world we're in now. It's the world we're in. I've got a phone that can recognise my face. That already makes it better than my nan. Come on! I embrace new technology. I do, because could you imagine if this pandemic had happened like 30 years ago? No internet, no Zoom, no Pornhub. I don't know why I looked at you, sir, but I did. Because I think we've forgotten, here in 2021, we've forgotten what really being bored feels like. Like proper bored. My friend's little boy said the other day he gets bored waiting for an app to load. Fuck off, mate. That is not boredom, is it? I'm talking Sunday afternoon in the 80s. That was boredom. When it was raining, you'd read every book in the house. I grew up in Maidstone. That's a Mills and Boon and an Argos catalogue. Your mum's watching something black and white on the only telly in the house, so you listen to your Walkman for a bit, but the batteries are dying, so Madonna's Like a Virgin sounds like Barry White singing it. You can't go and buy more batteries, can you? You can't, because all the shops are shut. And I mean, all the shops are shut, even the petrol stations are shut, and then when you think your day can't get any more tedious, your dad would go, get in the car, everyone, we're going to go and visit someone. That's what we do, isn't it? On a Sunday afternoon in the 80s, we would visit people for no reason other than to ruin their day. Do you know what? Young people don't believe this when you tell them. We never told them we were coming. Could you imagine doing that to someone today? They'd be livid, wouldn't they? We used to spend every Sunday with people wishing that they'd hoovered and we'd fuck off, didn't we? Aren't they? The only people who phoned ahead in the 1980s were the IRA. Fact. I wouldn't be a teenager now, though, would you? I wouldn't be a teenager now. When I think of the things I did when I was a teenager, the thought of that being on the internet forever makes me feel physically sick. It does. The way they have to communicate with each other is something I just can't understand. You know, sexting. I couldn't write a sext. I don't know what to put in a birthday card. When I was a teenager, if I wanted to leave a sexy message for a boy, I'd have to ring his landline and leave a message with his mum. You're into what, dear? All over your what? Different times, isn't it? Different times. There was a boy I fancied at school. I couldn't text him to write him a note, stick it in his school bag. And I'd make him a mixtape. Write him a poem. That's all we had, didn't we? I genuinely think a 14-year-old girl today, she would be more freaked out if you sent her a poem than if you sent her a picture of your knob. A poem would freak her out more. She'd be with her friends going, I mean, it was like a song, but it wasn't a song. And there was no cock in it. Not even a bollock, no. Different times, you know. Different. Apparently, young people today, they are most likely now to have their very first sexual experience online. By FaceTime or Skype. They're not even in the same room. You've got one teenager in this house on their phone and the other teenager in this house on their phone, and that's how they're having their first sexual experience. And I just think, do you know what? Getting fingered behind a caravan at a fairground is not ideal. But at least I was getting some fresh air.
You were excited about the release of Windows 7, weren't you? You're not normal, are you, Will? That's what it boils down to. And you worry me, and I'll tell you why, yeah? I mean, you're a nice lad. But what you're forgetting, and that everyone else here has remembered tonight, is that today is tomorrow's history, isn't it? Yeah? Think about it. Today is tomorrow's history. And, yeah, history's written by the winners, Will. Yeah, French history books, of course, are blank from cover to cover. The point is... Yeah, and I'm worried, what if the world ended right now, ladies and gentlemen? What if the world ended right now? And it could happen. The ice caps could melt, we'd all be drowned, couldn't we, yeah? And someone could leave the taps on, we could all be drowned. The greenhouse effect could take effect, couldn't it? And the world would be plagued by a plague of tiny green unripe tomatoes. Yeah? It could happen. Yeah? Well, the Chinese, all of them, Chinese, all at once, all of the Chinese, all of them could jump up and down, like that. And crack the Earth's crust. It could happen, Will. The thing with you, Will, is I'm worried. What if the archaeologists of the future, in a million years' time, you know what archaeologists are like, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah? They dig a hole, they find one leather shoe, and then they can paint a picture of an entire bloody city based on the strength of that one leather shoe. What if, in a million years' time, they find you, Will, the sole surviving remnant of all human civilization? Yeah, they're going to think we're a bunch of wankers. It's not personal. It's for the sake of everyone else, my friends. If in a million years' time they find you at the bottom, they find an asthma inhaler, a tub of E45 cream, a book of blank verse, some subtitled French films, and the manual for Windows 7. And they look at you and they look at us, and we will be judged. So, I'm offering you something, mate. What I want to do right now, for the sake of all mankind, is fix you. Right now, live on stage. Yeah? Up you come, Will. Round of applause for Will. Up you come, son. Come on, son. Of course you come, pal. Welcome. Welcome. Look at them all. It's Will, ladies and gentlemen. It's Will. Welcome. Yeah, you got any hobbies, Will?
I quite like tennis.
You quite like tennis?
Quite like tennis.
I've got a lot of work to do here, haven't I? You disgust me. Now,
It's a good game.
Shut up. Now, what we're going to do, it's dead simple. What we're going to do is we're going to do compare and contrast between me and you. Right? Normal and Will. Right?
Okay.
You up for this?
Yeah.
Okay, so put your hands out in front of yourself like that. Like that, so everyone can see them. Yeah? That's it. Yeah? Now look at my hands.
Yeah.
Now look at your hands. Yeah? Now look at my hands. Now look at your hands. Now look at my hands. Now look at your hands. Now, tell me, Will, what have I got that you ain't?
You've got 2 rings on.
No. It's not the rings. But what's happening there, mate, is I'm pointing at the moon and you're looking at my finger. Can't see the wood for the trees. What I've got that you haven't is class, isn't it?
How so?
No? Look, I'll sort you out, pal. Here, put this on. Put that on.
It's too big.
Yeah, put it on.
Which finger?
Here, shut your face.
Which finger?
Put it on. That one, you donut. There you go. And the other one. There you go. Yeah, and now, here we go. Let's sort you out. Yeah, you got rubber bands on and stuff, haven't you? Hey, rubber bands. Yeah, to show how much money you're giving to charity. You arsehole. Hey, shut up. Yeah. We're nearly there. Let's see it. Nearly. One last touch for you, Will. 1 second. Here we go, pal. How about this? Yeah. Put this on. There you go. Yeah, pop that on. Yeah. Calm yourself down, Kerry. There we go. Fantastic. Now take a look. You feel better. It looks better, doesn't it, Jamin? Yeah.
It's like a nature documentary in my house now. I'd never seen a vole before. Didn't know what a vole looked like till I found a dead one in my shoe. A pheasant. A fully grown hen pheasant. That's the biggest thing the cat's brought in still alive so far. Which I know does make it sound like he's brought in bigger things than that dead. 2 wolves and a postman, just in case you're wondering. A pheasant. Now, have you ever had like a little bird, like a blue tit, or a chaffinch or something like that, get into your house? They suddenly seem huge, don't they? Suddenly you're being terrorized by this winged beast. See a pheasant? They're big outside. They're big in your garden. See, when you're in your living room, they're gigantic. Because certain things seem bigger inside than they do outside. That's just a trick of perspective. That's why a car showroom works as a concept. Because a car indoors looks a lot bigger than a car outside on a forecourt. Sales psychology. Certain things seem bigger inside than they do outside, and you ladies would do well to bear that in mind. I come down the stairs, and there's this pheasant, which incidentally wasn't keen on moving out once it had tasted the high life of Castlebarn. I don't know if he'd said to the pheasant, honestly, just show them your arse now and again, they'll feed you. They're idiots, come on. And I'm looking at the cat, like I'm annoyed at him, but I'm also quite impressed at what he's done. And the cat's looking back at me, like he's quite impressed with himself, but he's also quite scared at what he's wrought on the house. You know? Cat's just looking back at me going, I know, it's massive, isn't it? I'll be honest with you, I thought it was big when it was outside, but... Now I brought it in, I'm scared to go near it. It's huge, look at it. Anyway, I got you this. If you don't want it, put it on eBay. I don't really give a shit. I'm making fun of the cat, I'm slagging the cat, it's my nature, but I actually did grow to quite like him. I did develop a certain level of grudging affection for the cat. But we had a bit of a step back in our relationship recently. The first time I saw him kill and eat a mouse right in front of me. Then there's a far more malevolent force living in your house. When you actually see that happen, he was there with his mouse on the welcome mat. On the welcome mat! Did you know that cats had a sense of irony? I did not. Welcome to your doom. And he's just playing with this mouse, and it's horrible, and the mouse is fighting back like it has a chance, and he's letting it go, and he's catching it again. And then it was just like so callous. It was just, he suddenly just flipped a switch and just went, I tire of you now. Tossed it into his gob and ate it in 3 gulps, the bones crunching and everything. Tail falls there, guts fall there, and then the cat just looked at me. He just looked right at me as if to say, see that? Now we know what I'm capable of. We'll have no more of this dry food bullshit, yeah? There's my little arse.
I think often a lot of people don't realise there's an actual person behind somebody's disability. And I experienced this, right, firsthand when I got lost in a park in Glasgow. I came off the path. I was in the bushes. Right, looking like a proper creepy weirdo. And I heard this guy aggressively running over at me, shouting, "Oi, you!" And I turned to face him. And he stopped dead in his tracks, went, "Oh, sorry, pal. Didn't see the stick. Thought you were a pest." You do know that's a pig guy. Yes. People only see my disability. I should see how much I can get away with. Do you know what I mean? Like, how much of a blind wronging can I be? Just go into a supermarket, blatantly shoplift a coat. I get busted trying to leave through the plate glass window again. Security guard. "Excuse me, sir, is that your coat?" "Yes, do you mind taking the security tag off it?" "Certainly, sir. Can I just see your receipt?" Right. Big innocent face. Hand him a blank bit of bog roll. I bet he's not got the heart to say anything apart from, "Right, that's fine, have a nice day." But I still maintain, no, it is an excellent time to be disabled. In fact, now, in some areas, too good. To the point, I'd like to finish this evening by asking you lovely people of the Apollo a favour. Could you please stop modifying sport so I can take part? It's now getting harder and harder to moan about being excluded when I am always being made to feel so very welcome. Not everything has to be accessible. There's a message. Being blind is a brilliant reason not to have to do something. Because this guy asked me if I wanted to take part in a game of football. You cheeky bastard. Oh, I'm going to guilt trip you, my friend. I'd love to take part in a game of football, yes, but I just don't think the blind man's that welcome in the hallowed turf. Not realising
Blind football? It's an established sport. What sick prick came up with that? 22 blind lads running like fuck at each other. They're trying to kick a ball with a bell in it. Guys, that's not accessible. That's a blood sport. And who goes to see it? But I did. I played my part. I took part in one game. Yeah, they put me in goals. But I learned one thing. In flight, a ball with a bell in it is silent.